Hello and welcome to this instalment of Talkin Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we're looking at the carpet set for the Austin Healey BN7 model. So that's a two-seat of 3000, and specifically this carpet set is for the cars that were fitted with the centre change gearbox or centre shift gearbox area down here. The earlier BN7s used side shift as per the previous BN6 models, but the later cars shifted to the centre shift spec as per the sort of BJ7 and BJ8 models and some of the BT7s as well. I believe the chassis number changeover was around 15,000, but obviously it should be pretty obvious from your car which ones you've got. So let me just refer to a book here. Actually, unfortunately, don't have great images of specifically a BN7, but let's just understand the concept of it. So this here is, I think this is probably a BT7 or a BN4. Yes, BN4. That has the side shift, so it was sort of slanted to the left side of the car, whereas the kind of later cars, a lot of the 3000 cars, shifted to the centre shift. Let's have a look. Where are we? We'll look at BJ8. BJ8, you can see it's right in the centre of it. Now, obviously, the BJ8 had a console sitting over the top of it, but imagine that console wasn't there. That would be effectively the centre shift version of it. So this is the centre change version of the BN7. Like I say, it's for the main cockpit cabin area, and this specific kit has been done in black wool. So it's very premium quality carpet, and it's been edged in Leathercloth as per original spec. Now, a few caveats on that. So carpet wise, we can offer three grades. We've got nylon, we've got Karvel, and we've got wool. Wool is by far and away the most premium and durable and best quality carpet, and that's generally what the majority of our customers go for. Austin Healey's left the factory, or a lot of them left the factory, in Karvel, which is like the ribbed carpet material. So we can offer that if you prefer. Bear in mind, Karvel's pretty limited on its colours. You've basically got black, red, dark blue and grey, I believe, whereas wool, there's a much wider range of colours there. Nylon as well, you've got a wider range than Karvel, but not quite as wide as wool. But generally speaking, we don't really recommend the nylon. Despite the fact the nylon we offer is the most premium automotive nylon you can get, it's still not that great in terms of a quality of carpet. And so we do tend to recommend mostly using the wool, but obviously if you want to go more to the original side of things, then Karvel is always an option. But the majority of the kits that we do over the whole range of cars that we do, we use this wool here. Sometimes referred to by the American market as Wilton Wool, albeit incorrectly, but see my blog post on that section of things, but it's the same quality element that they're referring to there. Other people refer to it as super wool or jaguar wool. This is that premium wool material. It's lovely stuff. Obviously being done in black, as you can see. Now, edging of carpets, again, subject of much debate. A lot of the Healeys left with no edging on, or very, very minimal edging on them. And the reason for that was almost certainly cost-saving exercise, and them being able to bulk cut kits to not specific sizes so that they can trim them down to fit the car, whereas we've refined our patterns and we generally edge our carpets where it makes common sense to, if not by original standards, if they did edge them. And the general concept for that is that basically no raw edge is on show when it's in the car, because it's either tucked underneath the adjacent panel or it's tucked underneath a edged carpet piece. So a good example of that is this centre gearbox section here, where you can see the left and right edges aren't edged, and that's because they will get tucked underneath the front and rear floor carpets, which are edged all the way around. Same concept again on the sill carpet. So that's the general concept there, is that any raw edge is normally tucked underneath an adjacent edged carpet, or it's tucked underneath an adjacent panel and therefore isn't seen when fitted to the car. Now, it's also worth noting that the centre change gearbox spec for the Austin Healey was normally done in one big piece. So where we've got these two pieces here, they're effectively joined together in one massive piece and fit into the car. But as anyone that knows those cars well, the gearbox tunnels fitted terribly on the Austin Heelys. And so what we've done, and we've used these patterns for years now, is we split it up into 2 pieces for 2 reasons. One, it gives a better fit, or it allows you to attain a better fit. It's still not perfect because unfortunately it's just a fairly bad and flawed design, but it's significantly better than the original one out there. But also it allows for fairly easy access to the gearbox should you need it, and often for these classic cars of course you do need it. So please do ask if you want the one-piece version, because of course we've got the patterns for it, but we don't really supply them. Few and far between. It's really people going for concourse that ask for that element of things. So anyone else that's just doing a high-end restoration and thinks a bit more about practicality, we would recommend this 2-piece one. So sorry, 2-piece gearbox carpet. So just keep that in mind. As standard, we would do it in 2 pieces unless you specifically instruct us, so just bear that in mind. Anyway, let's start at the front of the car and just go over all of the pieces here. So the very front, you've got the sort of toe board elements over the gearbox tunnel. So they obviously go flat against the firewall section. If I just move around here. So this one, it would stand up like that, and then that bends around the corner like that. So that's over the gearbox, and that's the side of the gearbox effectively. So you get a pair of those. Neither of those bits are edged. This piece here, this is for the underdash parcel tray, which sits on the passenger side. Now, we always include this carpet piece as part of our carpet set, but the vinyl we sell separately. Generally, we always supply the carpet in the carpet set, just because obviously it's carpet and we want everything to match in the car. So that's always included as standard, but obviously if you need the vinyl for retrimming the actual metalwork, then let us know, and we can obviously include that as well, but it's not included as standard in the carpet set. Then we've got the actual toe boards. So these are this obviously is the right hand toe board, so that's up against the engine bay section. Then left hand over there. Now they're edged all the way around apart from that bottom edge there, which tucks underneath the front floor front edge. Speaking of, you've got a pair of front floors edged all the way around, and as standard we will put this Austin rubber heel pad on both sides. Rear floor carpets, obviously the curvature is for the gearbox element and prop shaft element of things. At the back here we've effectively got the lower bulkhead kick panels, so the bits that sit just below where the rear deck is. So we're talking about these pieces on the vertical here. Now bear in mind, anything past that point we do not include in our carpet set, so things like the actual rear deck, which is normally armour cord, the spare wheel cover and the little straps there, they are all sold separately, they are not included in the carpet sets. So that's that area there. And then I'll just grab that book, because these little squares here, these are for the floor section in these B-post stirrup boxes in the corners, just below the quarter panels. So we supply those as standard in the carpet set, because again, obviously they're carpet, but the vinyl for those we actually supply either separately or as part of our trim panel kit, so just bear that in mind. Then you've obviously got the sill carpets left and right, so they literally go along the door sill element, sort of down there. I don't know if you've got a better picture. Yeah, the other side of there basically, all the way down the door sills into the sort of footwell area, so that's those there. And then finally, obviously we've got the gearbox section. Now obviously this has been done in 2 pieces, so that loops over the actual gearbox itself. You've got this cutaway here, which is where the gear stick comes out. Now there is a fair bit of overlap obviously, which is why these edges here aren't bound, so that tucks over the top of that there. These have got darts sewn into them to help form its shape. This section here is sewn on separately and bound all the way around to again help its shape. So that creates the sort of where the gear dome comes out of there. And then this cutaway here is obviously where the handbrake safety brake goes. Now this piece of vinyl here we included as standard, that is to wrapping around the dome section of the gear stick that comes out, and this vinyl piece here is for covering the little bodywork, exposed bodywork where the safety brake is. You can just see it there actually. So that little archway is that archway there, and this is the vinyl to cover up the bodywork if you wish to on those bits there. And you can see from just the gradient of that there compared to that there how much kind of excess you'll have on the left and right sides. We make our carpets deliberately wider from left to right than they need to be, so that it allows you to tuck them underneath the front and rear floor carpets and get that seamless finish between them. Gives you a bit of play in the, should we say, the inconsistent way that these cars were put together. It means that you can know that the front and rear floors will fit nicely because they've got a bit of play underneath with carpets, so that if they're not exactly snug to the chassis of your individual car, then you're getting coverage because of that element there. It's just one of the many reasons why we're trusted by so many people over the world, because our patterns are not only accurate to original, but also we've adapted and changed them and used common sense and worked with several renowned restorers and restoration companies around the world to make sure that our kits offer the best opportunity for you to trim out a car successfully. Putting aside that kind of myth that pre-manufactured kits do not fit, ours do. They never 100% fit perfectly, we can never guarantee that, but they're your best chance to do that, and easily the best way of spending your time is to make subtle and considered changes to one of our kits to get it to fit to your individual car. So yeah, that's the carpet set for obviously the centre change BN7. Please do refer to our other videos and YouTube channel for the other variant of the BN7, which was the side change gearbox. Hope you found that useful. Please remember to like, subscribe and share with other classic car enthusiasts out there, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.